Good morning and welcome to INCRadio Washington, D.C. Satellite Studio. I am Brother Vince Fortes and welcome to our INCRadio Washington, D.C. tours. Now, we have already visited the locale of Waldorf and it was an amazing time. I had an amazing time, but now let's go ahead and go to a place that I live in, which is the locale of Baltimore. And today we're going to take you on a virtual road trip around Baltimore, Maryland, the city where the locale of Baltimore is located. Now, I've only been here for about roughly 2 to 3 months, so I know a few places here and there, but I haven't been here long enough to say that I have three top choices that I'd like to go to in Baltimore. And we actually have a guest here who is going to talk about his experiences as he has lived here for quite a while. So, Brother Mark, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Brother Mark from the locale of Baltimore, Maryland. And yeah.
How long have you lived here, by the way?
I've lived here for this past June is like my 2-year kind of anniversary since I've moved here.
Last June. So then you recently moved here 2 years ago. Can you explain why you moved here to Baltimore, Maryland from, and where you moved from actually?
Yeah, I moved here for work, basically. And I'm originally from actually the Bay Area over in the West Coast.
That's awesome. I'm actually from there too. I only lived there for a year, but I would say like I'm from the Bay Area as well. Moved from the Bay Area. So it's nice to see someone else who's from the Bay Area, and not just me and my wife. So thank you so much for tuning in and for joining us here on the show. And since you've been here for 2 years, of course, and since you've been here for 2 years now, I'm sure you've already taken in all that Baltimore has to offer. And so what are your top 3 places to visit in the city of Baltimore?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much in Baltimore. Like, it's hard to choose just 3. But whenever anyone visits me, there's like 3 places I always take them to. One of them would have to be Fort McHenry. And then, which is a very historical area here in Baltimore. And then I would take them also to Ekiben, which is a restaurant, and then Be More Licks, which is a dessert place.
All right, and we're going to dive into all of those places that you had just listed. So for the first location, which is Fort McHenry, what is this place like? I have considering I'm a history buff, I actually know this place very, very well, but I've never actually been to the fort itself. So what is it like?
It's I don't know. It's like a fort. Oh, okay, that helps. That's a good description. Sorry. So it's like a big field, and then there's like a historical fort in the middle, and there's like walls, and it's like star shaped, or like kind of like star shaped or hexagonal shaped, and it's like by the water. So around the fort, there's like a trail that you can kind of walk around, and you can see like walk by the water. It's very beautiful. Last time I visited there, it was with actually the district came here to like do a little like city tour, and we took them there actually to after one of our OGMs, and we were able to see like the trees. I think the cherry blossoms are blooming during that time too, so it was like the perfect time to walk. It's like a park almost. Like you walk around the fort, and then inside the fort, it's like a museum. So they have a lot of like historical items, like old muskets, old uniforms, old like ways of how they ate, and like like history of the fort. And a fun fact is that like the Star Spangled Banner our national anthem here in America was actually written there by Francis Scott Keys. That's where it was written. So a lot of cool history just in that one area of Baltimore. Um, yeah, well,
Yes, I remember this from my history classes that yes, that is exactly where the Star Spangled Moon Banner was written, and it was the reason why it was written is because during the War of 1812, that was a huge battleground at the time. It was one of the epicenters in Chesapeake Bay. So yeah, I'm so happy that you mentioned that because that is one of the reasons why I want to go. Because in the song, for those of you who don't know, the song itself was relating to the flag that was still flying despite, despite all of the battles that was happening in that time, the against the British specifically. So, and despite all of the things that were happening in that fort, the flag was still waving, which is such a historical thing. It's really cool because that flag itself is huge. That flag is big and it's there. I remember you saying, Mark, that you actually saw them fold it, right?
yeah, or I think it was like a replica. Like it was not
Right.
the actual flag, but when I saw the replica flag, like it's like actually very big, like bigger than you see it flying up there, but you don't realize like how big like the flag actually is until it's like on the floor and they're like they needed like 20 people to like fold it, fold it up and stuff. So it was very cool to see that happen live. Like it covers like half the courtyard of the actual fort or something. Like it's actually so big, uh, but it's like an epic scene to see. Like when you're like down there and you're just seeing it in person.
I wish I could see it in person. That's one of my like top places to go to right now. I haven't been there yet, and I really really want to go, mainly because of how much of a history buff I am. So it's nice to know that someone's already experienced it, and I can hear all their experiences and what it was like. What was your like favorite part about visiting that place?
I think there's like two. I think I would have to say one is like the walk around because it's just such a beautiful like place to walk around, like through the cherry blossoms, and you can see you're like by the water, so you see like the bay, uh, and you used to be able to see the Scott Key Bridge that actually recently or just a few months ago was it got hit and torn down, but you used to be able to see that from Fort McHenry.
Oh, really?
Um,
I didn't. Oh, wow. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
like it's crazy because when we went there with the district, we actually were able to see like the broken the broken remains of from the distance. So it was pretty. It's like it's a beautiful walk around, and then of course like going inside the what do you call it, the fort itself. There's a lot of like historical items and like just seeing like, oh, this is like where they slept, like being inside the same exact place where they slept, where these like revolutionaries fought and like lived, and like it's like it's kind of surreal to just be there, and then you see like they have like their items, like their clothing and like their the weapons they use, and like the just being in those spaces. It's like it's a very surreal experience, like thinking like, wow, this is like someone like hundreds of years ago lived here and they fought for like America, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I totally agree. That's the cool thing about history is you get to kind of live what they experienced in a sense, where they were, where they slept, where they even battled in a sense,
Yeah,
especially during the War of 1812 when
exactly.
um, a whole lot of things were were happening, especially when it came to
Yeah,
international trade and stuff like
yeah, and
that.
I think with Baltimore, like I think that's like the biggest thing I noticed coming from the West Coast to the East Coast is that there's like so much history here. Like I remember when my mom came, and she's like, there's so many brick buildings here, like so much brick, and it's because like all these buildings are like built from you know 1800s and stuff, and like very historical. So I think that's one of the cool things about Baltimore. It's like there's like a lot of history here.
Yes, I agree. And I'm very happy to be here. And I'm so happy that you're telling me your experiences here today. And, now that we've delved into your first location, I do know and understand that You said that a lot of these locations are actually close by, and including your second location, which is Ekiben. So what is this place like, Ekiben?
Yeah, so Ekiben is a Ethiopian Thai fusion kind of restaurant, and it's like down the street from the Fort McHenry. So that's like why it's like the second place like I have on my list, because it's like it's a natural, after you walk around and hang around at Fort McHenry, you go eat lunch over at Ekiben. And Ekiben, yeah, it's like a Thai Ethiopian fusion. They have like a very savory, very kind of like sweet and savory uh, chicken sandwich. And the unique thing about this chicken sandwich is not only like the Ethiopian Thai like spices, but and like their special sauce. It's like instead of like a normal bun, it actually uses like a white shopao bun. Like I don't know what they call those. Like it's
I
like
don't
a
know for viewers out there who know what that bun is called. It's the white bun that they usually use when you're eating like roasted duck, and you put
yeah,
you put it inside the bun. It's
like a
that
bao bun. I think it's called like a bao bun.
bao. That's what it's called.
Bao bun.
Bao
Yeah.
bun.
So
Yeah.
they use a bao bun instead of like your typical like sandwich bun or something. Um, but that it's called the neighborhood bird, and like if you go there, it's like a very very low key, very hip kind of environment. Um, but like yeah, that it's called the neighborhood bird, and like uh it's like the perfect place to stop by after walking around and hanging out at Fort McHenry, because it's like maybe like 5 minutes away. Yeah.
5 minutes. Oh, that's nothing. You could just walk that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's actually really, really cool. And I'm assuming that's your favorite sandwich or favorite food to eat
Oh
in
yeah. Like
Ekiben.
there's not. That's like the taste that you get there is like cannot be replicated anywhere else. Like you're not gonna find that specific combination of flavors like anywhere else. You can only find it there in Ekiben in Baltimore. So it's like a must. That's one of the places I always bring people when they come visit me. Also.
That is very cool. I will need to go to this place. I have not been to this place yet. What else do you recommend, by the way, to get at this restaurant besides the sandwich?
So I usually only get the sandwich,
Oh, okay,
but
that's
I
fair.
also get no, but I also would recommend there's like something called like the tofu nuggets, and those are also super tasty. It's like fried tofu, like bite sized. You could eat it like popcorn, and the sauce like it's kind of like sweet, savory also. Um, I don't know how to explain it, but it's so good. Like you need to get that also when you if you ever go there, whoever goes there.
I will be going there with you because I
Yeah, so
live here.
I will take
So
you. I
you're going
will
to
take
take
you.
me because that sounds so good, and I really want to try all the things that you listed down, especially when it comes to Ekiben. Now, moving forward, despite us having lunch for Ekiben, the third location would definitely be for dessert, which is Be More Licks, and I know that's like a dessert ice cream place, right? So what is that place like? Especially, do they just serve ice cream or is it custom made ice cream?
Yeah, I mean, Be More Licks is like it's in the name. Be More Licks. Um, they serve like they serve custom made ice cream like that they make like in house. So it's like also a kind of thing where you can only find it there, nowhere else. So my favorite flavor is Captain Crunch soft serve. Like that is I love Captain Crunch, and the way they make it in the soft serve is like it's just you cannot find anywhere else. Like it's like so like sometimes when they make a Captain Crunch soft serve like in other places it's kind of soggy like the cereal I guess that
Right.
they put in.
Yeah. It's
But
like they
here
just
it's
put.
like
Yeah.
yeah, right. Like here it's like it's still crunchy. It's still like very you can still taste the Captain Crunch, and it's not Captain Soggy. Like it
Captain Soggy.
it tastes it tastes so good. Like the texture is so nice. Um, like yeah, I mean I haven't tried any other flavors because like I'm I don't know, like I'm the type that if I find a good flavor or like a good item, like it's hard for me to like change and try something else. But that's like one thing I can recommend. but they just have so many flavors there. Like it's like their menu is like a book. Like I'm serious. I'm so serious. Like it's like there's so many like different flavors to choose from. It's hard to like list them all or remember them all.
That is cool. I mean, you've listed your favorite one, and that's what I wanted to. That's actually what I wanted to ask next, which was what was your favorite flavor? And you said it was the Captain Crunch ice cream. So it's a soft serve, but they do sell other kinds of ice cream as well, right? They sell hard serve as well.
Yeah, they have like the is it called the hard serve? Is that what they
I
call
think so. Or it's
the
just
the normal ice cream?
the regular ice
Just regular
cream.
ice cream. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, because the thing is, I brought my friend there recently. Shout out to Christian Sarmiento. So he came, and then I actually accidentally forgot to say the soft serve, so I got the hard version, I guess. And that was also very tasty, but it was like a lot. Like I think the soft serve was like just enough, like very light, very
Right, right.
and this
I
is
prefer
not too
soft serve too.
heavy. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And you said you brought a friend. Why didn't you bring me yet?
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for a
Oh
while
yeah.
now.
I'm so sorry. We will definitely do like a Baltimore city tour. We have actually had so much new people come to Baltimore. Like I think it's like the perfect time to like actually set something up and like do like a little tour for everybody who's new here. Yeah, like including you and Mel and like everybody else. I think that'd be a good. And we could do that. What we talked about. We could go to Fort McHenry. Could go to Ekiben and then finish it off over at Be More Licks.
All right, thank you so much, Mark. And to our viewers and listeners, if you would want to visit Baltimore, they have these tours every now and then to basically tour Baltimore. So if you'd like to join us and come visit us here at Baltimore, we'd love for you to join us on this tour to go to Fort McHenry, to go to Ekiben, and to go to Be More Lakes, all of the places that we talked about, so that way you can experience it for yourself. And before we go ahead and end the show, Brother Mark, do you have any shout outs that you'd like to give?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to shout out my family in the Bay. I miss you guys, love you guys. All my friends and family. Also, all my friends and family that I've made over here in Baltimore. Like, they really adopted me in this place, and I couldn't have asked for a better place to have moved to. Like, moving across the country, knowing no one. They really welcomed me and included me in their family.
All right, thank you so much, Mark, for your shout outs. And we actually have a lot of commenters today commenting on the things you said as well. So let's go ahead and look at the comments here for our shout outs today. From Brother Lendagala, he says, "Good morning, beloved brethren. God bless. Hashtag Baltimore, hashtag Harrisburg Worship Service." From Danilo Yumo, he says, "Good morning, to everyone. Happy watching. Greetings from the locale congregation of Bowie." From Albin Kitoriano, I'm butchering this. Kitoriano, he says, "Good morning, brethren. Welcome from Anne Arundel." We also have one from Kashaji. He says, "Good morning, brethren. Happy viewing from Winchester." But we also have one from Brother Richard Soterio saying, "Good morning, brethren. Happy viewing to all." From Brother Audrey Dulai as well. "Washington DC is unstoppable. Hashtag Temple Hills." We have one from Sunny Gunless Jr. saying, "Good morning, brethren. Happy listening and viewing. Now Washington, INC Radio, Washington, DC." We have one from Harold Melcher saying, "Good morning, everyone. Greetings from Waldorf, Maryland." We also have one from Ivan RP Kilo saying, "Greetings both from the locale of Portsmouth." Oh, Ecclesiastical District of Britain South. Wow, thank you so much for joining us here today. From Grace Gillarpe, we said, and she is saying, "Happy birthday to my youngest son, Carl. Happy birthday." Happy birthday, Brother Carl. And from Lizelle Soriano, we have, "Good morning, brethren. Happy viewing, happy listening from Bowie." We have one from Melanie Fortes saying, "Good morning, INCRadio, Washington, D.C. So excited for today's road trip, tuning in from the locale of Baltimore." We also had one from Justin Talioga saying, "I love road trips. I'm on one right now to Universal City. Greetings from San Antonio, Texas." From Bernadette Espedito, she also says, "Good morning, brethren, from Winchester." And Mario Oka also says, "Good evening here in the Philippines, and stay safe, brethren. Greetings from the locale of Brixtonville, District of Caloocan North." And we also asked for our viewers and listeners to talk about their top 3 favorite places to go to in Baltimore. From Kasaraji, he says, Oriole Stadium and downtown Baltimore is an interesting experience, especially at night. So go ahead and join us there as well. From Daniel Yomo, he also says, my top 3 places to go to in Baltimore is is Mama Rosa's Grill, which is a Filipino restaurant, and the Baltimore National Aquarium, and Fort McHenry, and Baltimore National Aquarium. And from Casita Velasco, she says that her top 3 places are to visit the Inner Harbor, the National Aquarium, Fort McHenry National Monument, and Federal Hill Park, and grab something to eat at the Fells Point in Baltimore. Okay, I've never been to those places, so I need to go to those places. From Lendegala, he says to check out Inner Harbor, Federal Park, and Fells Point. From Bernadette Espadilla, she says it's been years since she has been in Baltimore, but she would love walking around the Baltimore Harbor, and the National Aquarium definitely is worth the trip. And then from Frederick Mendoza, he also says, check out Hitango ice cream. Ooh, he says it's better than Be More Licks. Mark, do you have anything to say about that?
Well, I will have to check that out. We'll have to check that out.
Yes, we'll definitely have to check that out. And for other desserts, you should go to Sacre Sucre, which is in Fells Point. So thank you so much for your comments on the live chat. We hope to hear more in our next show, especially since we're going to be touring yet another place. Tune in because we're going to talk about that pretty soon. But before we talk about our next upcoming show, let's go ahead and talk about our CFO in action and unstoppable highlights. Let's go ahead and check out our recent district activities. On August 11, 2024, the Brethren of the District of Washington, D.C. gathered together along with their guests to listen to the words of God in the Worldwide Evangelical Mission officiated by Brother Angelo Manalo. The Brethren shared their faith by inviting their guests to listen to the teachings of God taught by the Church of Christ. Afterwards, both members and guests participated in a socialization to strengthen the love of the brotherhood. Now let's go ahead and check out what is happening next week on INCRadio, Washington, D.C. Have you ever visited the locale of Washington, D.C.? Join us as we explore the many cultures, foods, landmarks, and sceneries of the locale of Washington, D.C. Saturday, August 24, 2024 at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on INCRadio, Washington, D.C. See you there. For their unstoppable support, we'd like to thank our INCRadio Washington, D.C. family for supporting our broadcast, especially to our SEPSI President, Brother Angelo Manalo. And of course, a very special greeting to our Executive Minister of the Iglesianicristo Church of Christ, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you for tuning in to INCRadio Washington, D.C. Satellite Studio. Stay unstoppable. Bye.
We are presenting the iglesianicristo Sign Language Guide, Android and iOS version. We gladly introduce the new interface of our INC Sign Language Guide, Android, and the much-awaited iOS version. The INC Sign Language apps is a project of the Christian Society for the Deaf, under the Christian Family Organizations Office of the Iglesianicristo Church of Christ. It is a part of the church's continuous intensive efforts to reach out to and care for the deaf, INC members, and non-members alike. This free sign language app includes the following features: 8,000 plus vocabulary entries, all in video, customizable video playback speeds, examples of signed phrases and sentences, categorized everyday signs like alphabet, numbers, colors, greetings, educational terms, medical terms, legal terms, iglesianicristo and religious terms, and many more. User maintainable favorites category, fast search and voice search. All features are available offline. And since these sign language applications contain phrases concerning the iglesianicristo and religious terms, we can use these apps in inviting more deaf fellow men to learn the basic doctrines being taught inside the church. For more information, please visit www.iglesianicristo.net, www.facebook.com/Christian Family Organizations, www.facebook.com Christian Society for the Deaf. Thank you for your support.
My seatmate was so annoying in school today. She kept copying my ideas in class. I think she's even going to use my idea for her project.
Are you sure about that? I mean, I'm sure it is just a small misunderstanding. Have you tried talking to her?
No, but I have a better idea. I'm gonna write a post about it. Let's bounce to reach our other classmates and teachers.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Why not? It'll be anonymous, and plus, I won't write her name.
I don't think that's a good idea. Even if it is anonymous, you shouldn't say negative stuff about people online. I mean, you wouldn't want to say that to her in real life, would you? Then I don't think you should make a post about it as well.
You have a point. Should I just try talking to her?
Yeah, I think that's a way better idea. And always remember, we are Christians. You shouldn't say bad stuff about people, even if it is anonymous and online.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Speaking of online, have you checked out the latest INCRadio HK yet? Look.
Okay, hold on. Let me check my followers too.
Remember, we are Christians even when online. Let's shine as lights in the world, even in our social media.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome